Welcome, Queen. Is your dating list the problem? You see, I know you're quite familiar with making grocery lists. You're quite familiar with recipe lists. You even quite familiar with to-do lists, even if you don't use them or make them regularly. But what about your dating list? Is your dating list the problem with your relationship status? And if you say, nah, because I don't even have a dating list. Well, I challenge you to reconsider that because your dating list is simply the set of things that you said you needed and wanted and expected in a relationship. So you live out your dating list as you date whoever it is you're with. And that very well could be causing you problems that you don't have to be going through. So, if you want to know if that is an issue, I got two things for you to consider. Number one, it keeps you in cycles and do-over season. And if you say, well, I'm not quite sure, well, the cycle is you simply with a different brother, but you still having the same problem. For example, you keep finding or attracting men that cheat on you. You keep attracting brothers who have baby mama drama. You keep attracting brothers who seem to think that it's your job to take care of you, to take care of him. You keep having the same arguments with different men repeatedly. This is not the second time. It's not the third time. In fact, you find yourself in the same situation, having the same arguments with different men. It's the same exact argument, but it's a different man. Cycles. So what you doing? Constantly in do-over season. Saying, I need a fresh start. This ain't working. I need to go ahead and cut you loose. Why? Because it could be that your dating list is a problem. Number two, it keeps you focused on pleasure and preferences. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with wants and getting what you want in a relationship. Now, that's part of being in a relationship and what makes it pleasurable for us. However, if that's the only thing on your dating list, if the only thing you focused on is what you can get, how this man make you feel, and having everything you want down to the letter, then that's an issue because everything that you want in a relationship, you most likely are not going to get. And if you are getting it, the thing you should consider is, are your needs being met? Because needs are more important than wants. And so that brings me to my solution for you. I just don't want to leave you out there saying, you have these two issues possibly and not give you a solution. And so the solution for the situation is to consider whose you are. Not who you are, whose you are. Because see, if you're a king's kid, if your father's sitting up high, if you're royalty, a daughter of the king, then that right there should cause you to pause. Because you should realize that something that I'm doing is not working. And that should cause you to reconsider and to redesign your list with the king's way in mind. And if you say, well, how do I do that? Well, he left us his word. He left us his word. That way we could have a guide for how to do life. Principles, a solid foundation to help us so that we could be anchored and not live in cycles of stress and frustration. And if you say, listen, I don't really feel like I need to include God in my relationship, my dating relationship like that, well, then I challenge you to think about this. How you want a biblical principle without involving the one who created it? You want love and life, a man that's going to, for the most part, be drama-free and not stress you out, have you worried and wondering, running the street, whether he running the street with this one and that one, doing things he ain't got no business, but you saying, I don't want to have nothing to do or not involve God in it at all. You see, that's why some of us got into relationships that drug us to the ground and we lost our crown. And now some of us feel like clowns, so we walk around bitter with frowns. And why is that? Because too often, many of us were instructed we need a relationship checklist of what we want. So we could identify once we got what we were after. But for most of us, that checklist we created is creating the reality we live daily. And it's nothing more than repetitious failures, disappointments, and unnecessary heartbreak. But that's not what the king intended. As always, I'm Coach Sam telling you, 24 hours doesn't seem long, but in 24 hours, you could change your life. So go ahead and do something life-changing now.